Our next speaker is an attorney for 30 years. He is passionate about resolving the opioid crisis, improving public safety, which means no sanctuary state, and protecting our civil rights. You may have seen his campaign sign, J. McMahon for Attorney General. Please welcome the Republican candidate for Attorney General of Massachusetts, J. McMahon.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure, an honor, and a deep privilege to be here before you today. I thank you very much for the invitation to be here. While we were waiting for the conference to begin, I was looking at the brochure and I was reading it, and I kind of saw some points in here that I underlined and highlighted a little bit. I'd just like to read them a little bit and then tell you what they mean to me. The Chinese-American Alliance is established by a group of dedicated Americans who share common interests, common life values, and common sense American values. Chinese-American Alliance is a nonprofit organization established by a group of like-minded Americans who believe in diligence, hardworking, market economy, and traditional family values. We emphasize community integration, civil engagement, conservative advocacy, and fair education opportunities. Our mission is to promote the conservative values of traditional American families. We aim to safeguard the right to equal protection. We strive to foster dialogue and ensure fair opportunities among all Americans. The reason I am reading is that this is my core value. I can see I'm with my brothers and sisters. Whoever wrote this, I want you writing my campaign literature. I'm running for Massachusetts Attorney General against Maura Healey. I'm doing it because, well, let me say this. These values, we need them back in government. Right now, we do. I am running against a left-wing liberal political activist, and we got problems in this state. We have huge problems, and I'm going to address a few of them. Earlier on, you heard that I'm passionate about the opiate epidemic because it's as if no one is doing anything about it. Let me explain. In 2010, we had Americans in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts dying of opiate addiction. We had 500. 2 years ago, that has gone up to more than 2,000, 2,100. People dying in the streets from opiate addiction. Here's the problem that I have with that. This is Massachusetts. We're the medical capital of the world. Kings and queens, prime ministers and presidents of other countries, they don't go to their capital cities. They come here to Massachusetts, right here to Boston, to have their cancers cured, their blood disorders resolved, and to have their heart ailments taken care of. And we do that here. And yet we have over 2,000 people a year dying in our streets. The only reason why it has stopped at 2,000 is because we got Narcan for first responders, and they're saving these people if they get there in time. It's not that they stopped using the drugs. It's not that the problem is abating. It's just that we're keeping them alive longer. We need to do something about this, and I will tell you this, I am the one who will do something about this problem. I have a three-pronged approach, and it goes like this. First, we need effective and successful opiate rehabilitation. Here is the nasty secret. We actually have the technology in Massachusetts to do this. We can actually give the opiate addict his life back. No matter how long they've been on opiates, we can do it. I'm not so concerned as how they became an opiate addict, although I want to prevent that. I want to be able to give them their lives back. The private pay programs can do that. They have an 87% success rate. But we're not helping the vast majority of opiate addicts into those programs. Instead, we're putting them in government programs that are a complete and dismal failure, and we see it when we have 2,000 deaths in Massachusetts a year. I'm going to change that and make it better and give these people their lives back. We have to dry up the source of heroin and fentanyl because 80% of our people are dying from that. I'll tell you right now, I have a major problem with the present Attorney General, who I'm running against. Right now, she's running Massachusetts. That is her office, as if Massachusetts was a sanctuary state. Did anybody read the newspapers last weekend in the sanctuary city of Florence? 50 illegal aliens were picked up on drug charges with enough fentanyl to kill half the population of Massachusetts. It's in sanctuary city, Lawrence. It's like that in other sanctuary cities at all. Did you notice it was an all-federal operation, that there were no state or municipal law enforcement assets involved in that? I'm going to end that. I'll tell you how I'm going to end it. I'm going to be in communication, constant communication, with the U.S. Attorney, and we're going to form joint state and federal law enforcement task forces, and we're going to dry up the source in Massachusetts. If we don't do that and take active measures, this problem is going to perpetuate and get worse. And you're not hiring me to do that. You're hiring me to tackle this problem and be successful in it, and I promise you I will. The last part of that program that I'm going to institute is called extreme vetting, and it goes like this. For the purveyors, the drug traffickers, the pushers of this poison, we are going to take them and prosecute them to the max. Now, you're not seeing that here in Massachusetts now. Just in Salem, a couple of months ago, a judge let a drug trafficking thug who was caught with 40 bags of heroin, let him out on probation. Can you imagine that? But the worst of the worst, I spoke with Jim Lyons and a few other state representatives, Jeff Deal, another one. We spoke on the steps of the Essex County Superior Court in Salem against what this judge did. Because it is deplorable, the message that we're sending. The message that, look, we got an opioid crisis going on in Massachusetts, and we got a judge who gives a guy probation for who's a major trafficker in heroin. Someone has to speak out against this, and we did speak out against this. But Maura Healey, just the opposite. She supported the judge. She's also on record as saying that the Massachusetts sentencing guidelines are too harsh. I say they're not harsh enough. There's only one way to resolve this problem, and that is to put these purveyors of poison either in jail or drive them out of state. I don't care how we do it, just as long as we do it, and I will be effective in doing that. I promise you that. Let me just mention a little bit about public safety. Lenient judges, we have to call them to account. We need to send the right message. And the right message goes like this. We need to tell the purveyors of this poison that Massachusetts is no longer open to their kind of business. That's what we have to do. And we have to tell law enforcement we got their backs. I'm going to tell you what the wrong message is going on so far. Have you noticed that all the police shootings in Massachusetts and New England, and I can name them, we got 3 deaths this year. We have Corporal Eugene Cole in Maine, the deputy sheriff in Maine, who was shot by a Massachusetts defendant. We have Sean Gannon on the Yarmouth Police Department down on Cape Cod where I live. We have Mike Chesner on the Weymouth Police Department. All these officers, they were shot and killed by drug trafficking thugs that were let out by lenient judges. We got to put an end to that. The way to put an end to that is for an Attorney General to stand up and call these judges out. To stand in there if you have to and appeal those sentences to the appeals court and just keep using the bully pulpit of the Attorney General's office to expose these people because they're killing our communities by allowing these drug trafficking thugs out among the population and putting us all at their mercy. That is what I will do to effectively act as the people's lawyer, your people, when I see this happen. I promise you I will do that. Finally, let me just say this. If you've been reading the newspapers in the last couple of days, you will see that the Supreme Judicial Court of Massachusetts just overturned 19,000 convictions, drug-related convictions. 19,000. And the reason they did that, one of the reasons they did it, was because of the conduct coming out of Maura Healey's Attorney General's office. I'm telling you, it was phenomenal. 19,000 people who were convicted, drug trafficking thugs among them, are being released and their convictions are overturned as dismissals with prejudice, which means they cannot be retried. This is some of the comments that the judge made who was involved in this. The judge said, the activities and the conduct of the chief prosecutors from the Attorney General's office was egregious prosecutorial misconduct, fraud upon the court, and that the prosecutors had a lack of moral compass. He went on further to say their conduct was reprehensible. He's talking about not the defendants, the prosecutors coming out of her office. Their conduct was reprehensible and magnified by the fact that it was not limited to an isolated incident, but rather to a series of calculated misrepresentations to the court. The ramifications from their misconduct was nothing short of systemic. Unbelievable. And that's coming out of Maura Healey's office. Now, I got to tell you something. You might say, what prosecutor would do that to the court? What prosecutor would make absolute gross misrepresentations? That's legal terms for lying to the court. Who would do that? Well, I'll tell you who would do that. I have their names. Ann Kazmarek and Chris Foster. All right? Two chief prosecutors, and they conspired to keep information away out of the courts and from the defense counsel. And so the Supreme Judicial Court says this was so outrageous, we got to end all those convictions and overturn them. Now, you would think that if a court has said that about lawyers, prosecutors, you would think that these people would be fired. Wouldn't you think that? You would think that perhaps maybe they would go to jail. Perhaps they would be disbarred. No, not in Massachusetts. No, these two were promoted. These two are now making six-figure incomes. Ann Kazmarek is a clerk magistrate in one of the district courts here in Suffolk County. And Chris Foster is general counsel of the state's Alcohol Beverage Control Commission. This kind of corruption will end when I become your Attorney General. Yeah. I want to thank the Chinese American Alliance for inviting me here today. I want to tell you something. Your values, we need them more than ever now. We need them in government. The original topic that I was to talk on, and I believe I spoke on this, best practices in civil engagement. Because you're doing that. You are being actively involved, and you are supporting people who are running for government, government officials, people who embrace your values, will represent your interests and will see to it that government operates reasonably, responsibly, and reliably for you. And I'm going to ask you in that regard, I'm going to tell you this. When you elect me as your next Attorney General, I promise you and guarantee you this. Your public safety and all of your civil rights are safe with me. Thank you for inviting me.